Hey up everyone, I'm Sue Circuit and welcome back to House Flipper. Now you may notice this looks completely different from our usual style of office, which is well kept, and that is because in last week's episode we stole our previous office. So now we are just going to go and hop from house to house until we find one that we actually like. So I believe this is episode 16, so without further ado, shall we get to it? Okay, so in this week's episode, we will be doing the following house. It's actually coincidentally the house that we are at, Boring House, which I think is very apt. It's a very small house. It is only got two floors apparently and two rooms. So it's our first house that has like an upstairs. Well, I say upstairs, a downstairs. I think the decorated house had an upstairs, but I don't know about a downstairs. So we'll see. This house might have a cellar because it doesn't look like it's got an upstairs in there, unless it's a Mary Poppins house, which has loads and loads of floors. So let's do the property description. So this property is as follows. House for sale, any takers? I got this house as a gift from my parents for getting into university. I wish I got given a house for getting into uni. I, however, don't need so much space. All I need is a studio apartment. After the party I threw to make my parents happy, I decided to sell the house. I hope you'll be able to deal with the mess left after the party. So this is what the outside looks like. This is the another angle. This is the inside. This is the inside, and this is the inside. So yeah, they are correct when they do say a very boring house. Now I would say let's go to the property, but we are right here. So without further ado, should we do the before tour? Let me just get over here so I can show you the outside properly. So let's start with the garden. So this is obviously the garden, not a whole lot to see. There's quite a bit of graffiti around, but other than that, there's not really a lot to go on. I mean, it's a nice, quaint house. Like, if I got given this house, I'd probably do it up and just rent it out if I wasn't going to use it. This guy is, like, missing out. He's taking, like, the quick, I don't know, 100,000 he might get for the place and, like, palming it off for loads and loads of rent he could get. But that's just my mindset. Let's go inside. So this is the entryway, very narrow. We're probably going to need to widen this up a little bit. It's very inconvenient. Oh my god, the chaos in there. Let's just see what else we've got. Okay, so this goes down to the cellar then. So yeah, it's even got a cellar. You could have like a washroom and God knows what else down here. Maybe a second bedroom if you're really clever. Okay, cool. Let's see. Let's go check out what this room is. Oh, this is the bathroom. Okay. And then in here, we've got a living room, space and kitchenette. Okay. Needs a lot of work, this place does. And this should be the bedroom. All right. Jesus Christ almighty. Who on earth let you kids in here? Like, my God, there's so much wasted potential in this house. And it is honestly disheartening. Like, you could do so much more. And I'm, like, so sad about it. Like, come on, my dude. Okay. Right, there's not much to see. That is the before tour. Let me just get out. So we're out of the mess. And let me just go back over here. So yeah, I guess it's time to start renovating this very boring house and making it less boring. Okay, are we ready for the final reveal? So before I do the final reveal, I am just going to show you how long it took me to do this house. So according to House Flipper, it took me 4 hours, 1 minute and 39 seconds to do this house, which is quite surprising. I was only half an hour quicker than I was doing last week's episode, considering this house was significantly smaller. But I think it's safe to say, after my renovations, this house can no longer be called a boring house. So shall we see what it looks like? As you can see, I've mowed the garden. I also went around and picked up all the rubbish, and I also updated the brickwork on the outside. I felt like it was just far too orange of a building to it really looked all that nice. So I've gone around and I've just mowed the lawn and I've painted and I kept all the original trees, and as I say, just updated the brickwork. I feel like this cream and like brown brick goes much nicer and gives it a much more modern look. I've also obviously changed the windows as well. The windows are now these big, I think they're called Kevin windows rather than the smaller ones. So I've tried to add as much natural daylight into this place as possible. So heading inside now. Oh, I also did these flower beds as well. So yeah, heading inside now. I've changed the front door from the horrible sad brown. I've also expanded the wall out, so I've made it a bit more open plan concept, because if you remember originally you walk in and the wall was like right in your face. I felt like that wasn't very welcoming for a space, so I've redone the entire interior layout. So now we've got a somewhat smaller kitchen than what I would have preferred, but it's fully functional. It has everything you need: a fridge, a dishwasher, an oven and a hob, you know, your tumble dryer and your washing machine, and plenty of cabinet storage as well. For a smaller kitchen, there's lots here for you to be able to use. And obviously later on, should you want, you could always put you could always get rid of these pictures and put some shelves up here, but I wanted some pictures of like cooking related things. And then yes, obviously across this side as well, I've got a couple of seats for you to sit on, so it's like a breakfast bar as well. And I've got a dining table, so I've kept the area completely functional for what it is. There's plenty of space for a full small family to sit, or you know, if you have guests or whatever, to do what you need to do in this kitchen. And with a large sink as well, you've got plenty of space for all your dirty dishes if you're hand washing or whatever, or washing veg. And then obviously, as I say, I changed the entryway, so the entryway now I think looks 10 times better. It looks far more welcoming, far more grand, and it makes the place look like it's worth way more than what I paid it for, especially over here with the double mirrors. And you know, these are all supposed to be like shoe cabinets. These are like 3 separate drawers. But yeah, as I say, with the big open plan, it just feels like a lot more welcoming in my opinion. This little alleyway goes down to the cellar. I wanted to, well, simultaneously wall it off, so it's not straight in your eye line when you come in, but also like not enclose it too much, hence why I've gone for an open frame, because obviously the door itself is shut, so I didn't want it to seem like scary. But I was like, imagining if you had little kids, this cellar's probably one of the scarier places. But if I go into this door here, I was tempted to make this like an actual door, but I think I'm going to leave it as a frame. But yeah, if you go into here, you've now got the new living room. Now originally this whole area, all this space, was a kitchen with a living room and a bedroom smushed into one big space. So it's amazing how much bigger the place seems, even though technically it's not got any bigger on the outside, it just feels bigger on the in. Over here I've got a little doorway here, just another little shoe cabinet and some hooks and a light bulb. This just leads outside, so I changed where the door was to the outside, as I felt that it suits being here better, because originally it was where this window was, so it allowed me to use that entire space without having to work around an awkward door. Because I was trying to think where is the best place to put the back door, because you don't really want to be sitting in your living room. Like originally this little space like here where the dining table was where the bedroom was, and you had a back door into your bedroom, which I don't know, if I was living in a house and I had a back door into my bedroom, I think I'd be creeped out the entire night and I wouldn't get much rest. So yeah, obviously I've got a big living room. I tried to keep it somewhat simple. If I had a choice, I would have a curtain going from here all the way across to here as well, but house flipper is silly. But yeah, I wanted to keep it simple and just kind of give the impression of what the room would look like, so they can add all their own little knickknacks. And I've gone for like a nice green colour. It's not a colour I use too often, and I feel like it's balanced out quite nicely with the white furniture. Now this room over here is the I would say main bathroom only because it's on the first floor, but it's a small bathroom. It's only 5 meters. It's got a shower separated and a toilet and sink, and obviously, as I say, I kind of stripped back a lot of the little knickknacks that I want to put in because this is just a house that's going up on the market. So that means that obviously the individuals would be putting their own house, like their own little touches into it. So it's basically ready to move in, not somebody lives here kind of style. And yes, I am aware that that's awkward with the door, but again, with this door, you don't get a choice on which side the door actually sits on. If I wanted it to sit the other side, I'd have to have the frame inside out and it wouldn't look right. So obviously, if I had a choice, I'd do it so the door hinges on this side and obviously opens against the wall, but I can't decide that, so we're dealing with it as it is. This is just a small bedroom. So I've actually increased the amount of bedrooms this house to have 2. So this is just a little single bed, just so if you have a kid or you have guests. I think it's more suited for like guests. I kind of just went for a nice little purple theme. I absolutely love these wardrobes. They are a godsend when you've got awkward space and you need to fill in with some stuff, because there's loads of storage in here considering the size of the room itself is quite small. So yeah, I went for like a lovely purple theme, and I also have a window in here that does open. Again, if I had a choice, it would open the other way, but obviously it opens this way today. And I added in a few little bits of decoration just to make it feel a bit more cozy and not just like a box room. So I think I did an okay job kind of making this space seem bigger than it is. And normally I go for the beds with a bit more like cushioning and bedding, but this one just fits so perfectly into this gap that I honestly could not use it. So that's the upstairs thus far. So as I say, you've got a kitchen, dining, you've got a living room, you've got a bathroom and a bedroom upstairs, and obviously a nice grand entryway with soft blues and whites everywhere. And then you come down into here and this is your cellar space. So again, I painted it so it doesn't look half as scary as it did before with just being brick. And I've also added in some windows, which I think is quite cool. You've got some windows like literally going into your cellar, so there will be natural daylight coming into here. At least from the staircase. It'll be the only natural daylight in the space. But as with the last property, I just left this little gap here empty. This would be just like a little storage nook for whatever you should need. It is a bit of a tighter squeeze because obviously this rail was here. I didn't choose this wall just comes with the house. So I can't actually edit it. Look, if I show you, I can edit how it looks like, but I can't get rid of the wall. So we're just gonna have to live with it the way it is. And then down here as well, I've just added in an additional bathroom. So this would be like probably the master bedroom over being like a guest room. I know it seems kind of strange having the master downstairs and having the guest upstairs, but it was the best I could do with the space. And anyway, if you're like parents, for example, and you've got kids, your kids are upstairs and they're a little bit older, you don't have to like babysit them quite so much. So then you can finally have your privacy for the things that parents do. I won't go into too much depth just in case there's a kid watching and they don't want to get scarred. But yeah, I added in a smaller bathtub in here, and again a toilet and a sink. I normally don't like this sink, but it is like the only one that was really practical for the space. But yeah, I just tried to make it nice and bright again because I'm underground. It's a cellar. I don't want it seeming scary, so I kind of stuck with the yellow theme as well in here that we've got in the hallway. And this bedroom, some might say I've not necessarily maximize the space, but for what I was going for, I actually really like it. So I've gone for like kind of like a medieval theme, because I'm just thinking if you just shut these curtains, it can feel even more private and cozy in there. And you've got your own little TV and a little shelf for you to put the controller on so you can watch like some films and whatnot. And granted, there isn't a whole lot of storage space in here for the wardrobe, but honestly, you could just put some more boxes up here, or you could put like those boxes that sit underneath the bed. And I've gone for a rug because it's a stone floor to make it nice and warm. And then all this doorway as well, it acts as like a wall to divide the space, but it's also like storage, which is why I've gone for this kind of wall over like a normal one. But yeah, I think this room is actually super cute, and I love the chandelier, and I just really like it. I can imagine getting into this bed and just like curling up and being quite happy. So if you had like 2 roommates or something in this space, the one who owns this space would be paying a bit more because they they've got their own bathroom, but they have like a little hideaway they can get away from like everyone else. So yeah, that is the place. Let me know what you think. Like, I think it's actually really nice. Like, I honestly, if this was my first home, I wouldn't even be mad, especially considering that literally down there before was nothing apart from just empty space, and up here it was just all cramped and horrible. But obviously you'll see that in the final video because I put the before and after next to each other now. But yeah, that is the Arthur tour complete. So I'm just gonna run over here so we can get a view. As you can see, this is obviously where the cellar is. I just wish, the only real wish for these windows is that they would open from top down as well. I don't know why it's not letting me close it, but yeah, if they opened from top down rather than down up, just because, you know, they looks a bit funky when it opens the bottom half of the floor rather than the top half of the window. But yeah, there's windows everywhere now. It's nice. And my main thing with this house is that it was very dark and it felt very small, so I tried to use the windows to like expand the space a little. But let's sell this place. So before we sell it in game, I've got to do the retail description for this house. So the retail description goes as follows. This house can no longer be described as boring. It is perfect. It is the perfect home for those just starting out, as it maximizes both space and natural light throughout. A beautiful blend of colourful charm and modern sophistication now waits for you within its walls. This house contains 2 bedrooms, 1 single, 1 double, 2 bathrooms, a separate living room, and a combined kitchen and dining room. As I said, I've been making a change towards having a more shorter property description, as it's easier just to fit it onto the little graphic, but also, as I say, if you're buying a property, you probably don't want like a whole essay, you just want a quick synopsis and you'll just look at the pictures of the place, or you'll go and view it depending on what you feel about it. So yeah, let's go put this onto auction. Put onto auction. So our house price was about 73,000. Our renovation cost, I really don't know how they work it out, because apparently furniture brought I only spent 8,000 on, and my renovation cost was apparently £2,000 in a negative, but furniture sold was 11,000. So I don't know. Currently, anyway, given all of that adding up that they've done, I get a profit of £17,000, and it's just typical that last week I tried to sell our house to Raphael Erco, and this week he is the first buyer of the house. He has a whole lot of negatives because I haven't built this house for him. This was just a house I built for myself. Like, I say for myself, as in I weren't building it specifically for a buyer. I was building it in my own style. So apparently he doesn't like the fact there's no sauna. He doesn't like the fact there's no private space for himself, but that is always a negative no matter what I do. TV, there's no TV. There's 2 in this property. Where are the speakers? I need a double bed because, you know, I might need it soon enough. Not with the way you're going, buddy, you're never going to need a double bed. But yeah, there is a double bed in this property, so I don't know, I don't get it. But anyway, I'm going to negotiate, and we all know the drill, all the way up to the top of this bar, because no matter how many times we ask for it, no one ever says yes. So let's sell this place. Are you kidding me? Yeah, no, kind of. I have like a tiny hope that you might buy the place, but I'm not convinced you will. But yeah, as we're loading in here, I know it's taking a minute to load the final offer. I have clicked the button to accept. Yeah, but as we're loading in, just in terms of my final thoughts of the place, I've not really got too many opinions. I think I definitely do like the improved entryway significantly more, and I do like the layout of the house in general more. I enjoy the fact that the downstairs has now been renovated into a separate space, and I think it would be perfect for people who are renting, or for parents with an older kid but only the one kid. Lest you want that single bedroom just to be like a little guest room, like a little box room. You can't really expect too much from a box room. I did enjoy, as usual, all the different colours that I've been getting to use when I'm not building for a specific buyer, because sometimes they have preferences in terms of colours and whatnot that they want. It is nice just to be able to go ham with all the different colours that you want to do instead. I know I'm definitely cheating still a little by using white to kind of balance it out, but I just don't want the house to be too overwhelming. But in general, I think I did a pretty good job in making the house feel much bigger than it is. I feel like it's kind of a bit like a TARDIS, like it looks bigger on the inside than it is on the out. But other than that, I guess the only thing that I really did, it was just quite relaxing. It was quite nice in terms of just being able to build a house in the way that I kind of want to. And I definitely do prefer the way the outside of our house looks now. But yeah, that's the end of my final thoughts. So just while we've got a brief bit here, I'm going to look at the ground so I don't spoil next week's look. We still got 2 buyers left, the family Johnson and Jack Tarrington. So as a reminder, the family Johnson is a married couple in their mid-30s with 3 children and a grandma, so they're going to need 5 bedrooms in their house at least, on top of everything else that they want. And then we've got Jack Tarrington, who is a 40-year-old investor buying houses for rent. So I guess that house would have been well suited to him if it was actually in his taste, but it wasn't because the furniture wasn't expensive and wasn't cheap enough. I mean, he gets really grumpy if you put expensive furniture in his properties because obviously he's renting them out. But yeah, as I always, I looked too far up, pretend you didn't see that. It feels weird doing an intro on the floor. But yeah, as always, thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe and comment who you want me to build a house for next. If I don't do it in the following week video, it'll be in the video after that. It just depends on when I've actually seen the comment, and as I always say, either the comment with the most likes or the name that is commented the most will be the name that I pick for doing the renovation. So get down there, get saying what you want to do. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next week. Bye for now.